Canada, it's a name that conjures up images, eh? Towering mountains, right? Sparkling glaciers. Vast forests teeming with wildlife. We've got it all, folks. From the rugged coastlines of Newfoundland to the soaring peaks of the Rockies, Canada is a land of breathtaking beauty and diversity. We've got prairies that stretch as far as the eye can see. We've got the northern lights dancing across the night sky. And don't even get me started on Niagara Falls. But Canada is more than just pretty scenery. It's a country with a rich history and a diverse population. It's a place where people from all over the world come to build a better life. So buckle up, because we're about to take a whirlwind tour of Canada, from its ancient past to its bright future. We're talking thousands of years of history here, folks. Long before the first Europeans arrived, Indigenous peoples thrived in this land. They hunted, fished, and traded, living in harmony with nature. From the Inuit of the Arctic to the Haida of the Pacific coast, these First Nations peoples developed unique cultures and traditions. Their stories are woven into the very fabric of Canada. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started, shall we? Let's talk about resilience. The First Nations people, they wrote the book. They lived off this land for over 12,000 years before anyone else showed up. Talk about knowing how to survive. From the icy Arctic to the Pacific coast, they adapted to every environment. They built homes, hunted caribou, fished for salmon, all while respecting the land that sustained them. Each nation had its own distinct culture, language, and traditions. The Haida, known for their incredible totem poles, tell stories of their ancestors and their connection to the natural world. The Inuit, masters of the Arctic, navigated the frozen landscape using dog sleds and kayaks, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the ice and snow. These were sophisticated societies with their own laws, art, and spirituality. Their stories are an essential part of understanding Canada. They remind us that this land has always been a place of many peoples and cultures. It's a legacy we need to honor and learn from. Word on the street is that the Vikings were the first Europeans to set foot in Canada. That's right, those Norse explorers with their horned helmets and thirst for adventure, they landed on our shores around 1000 AD. They established a settlement at L'Anse aux Meadows in Newfoundland. It didn't last long, but hey, it was a start. Then came the big names, John Cabot, Jacques Cartier, those guys. They were sailing for different teams, mind you. Cabot, an Italian explorer, claimed Newfoundland for England in 1497. Cartier, a Frenchman, sailed up the St. Lawrence River in 1534, planting the seeds for France's claim to Canada. It was the beginning of a long and complicated relationship between the French and the British on Canadian soil. These early explorations opened the door to further European settlement, and with it, the fur trade. Beaver pelts were all the rage in Europe, and Canada had plenty of beavers. This set off a scramble for control of the fur trade, with the French and British vying for dominance. Section 4. Fur, fights, and the flag of Britain. The fur trade, my friends, it wasn't all sunshine and roses. It was a tough business, full of competition and conflict. The Hudson's Bay Company and the Northwest Company, they were the big players. They battled it out for control of the fur trade, building forts and trading posts across the land. It was a wild time, let me tell you. The French and the British, they couldn't seem to agree on who got to call Canada home. They fought a series of wars, culminating in the 7 Years' War, from 1756 to 1763. The British won that one, taking control of New France and changing the course of Canadian history. But the French influence didn't disappear overnight. Quebec, with its French language and culture, remained a distinct part of Canada. It's a testament to the enduring legacy of those early settlers. Section 5. From Sea to Shining Sea. Hold on to your hats, folks, because things are about to get exciting. In 1867, Canada officially became a country. Confederation, they called it. We started with just 4 provinces, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. But we weren't content to stop there. Oh no, we had our sights set on bigger things. Over the next few decades, Canada expanded westward, adding new provinces and territories. Manitoba, British Columbia, Prince Edward Island, Alberta, Saskatchewan, they all joined the party. We even threw in Yukon and the Northwest Territories for good measure. By 1905, Canada stretched from sea to shining sea, just like our national anthem says. It wasn't always easy. There were challenges along the way. But through it all, Canadians showed their resilience and determination to build a strong and united country.